1,500, long run down the back before they have to turn. This is the midway to open the day. And Darren Flindell is your caller.
Last one's in.
There's the light. Gates are back on the first, and jumping quite well was Pretty Tabby wide out. Pretty Sassy nicely into stride. Mogwai's there, and Prometo's having a pop for the lead as well. So Prometo urged to go forward here by Ben Osman and is going to take the lead from Pretty Sassy. And Pretty Tabby wide out. Racing in the club colours going to second spot now. Mogwai fourth. Then came Rush Attack. My Shalom Could out deep. Further back then It's a Wonder buried down on the fence. Inferentia a touch deep. Further back then to Herb and the blue cap, Morali the yellow, a length and a half to Hell's Itch, and Missile Seeker is the last one. In front here is Prometo in the early stages and steadies the tempo, a half in front to Pretty Tabby. They're followed wide on a wide path to Rush Attack, sitting on the outside of Pretty Sassy and Mogwai down on the rails. Further back to Inferencia in the three wide line around My Shalom, then came It's a Wonder, Missile Seeker, Herb, Morali, and Hell's Itch last of all. 600 to go, Prometo in front by 3/4 to Pretty Tabby. Rush Attack's done plenty of work there in a three-wide position, turning for home. Then Mogwai camped down on the rails. It's a Wonder coming off the fence, looking to slide through. Missile Seeker wide out. It's Prometo all out now from Rush Attack. Then came Pretty Tabby. Missile Seeker the outside. Mogwai in restricted room. It's a Wonder looking to meander through the field. Just in front here, Rush Attack. Rush Attack, 100 out. It's a Wonder late on the scene. Prometo keeps fighting, but Rush Attack, three wide the trip, wins. Rush Attack a half head to It's a Wonder in Prometo third, and a good three-way go. A gap back to Pretty Tabby may have hung on for fourth. Then came Herb from Inferencia, Mogwai, My Shalom. Pretty Sassy, Missile Seeker, Hell's Itch. Morali was last in.
10 Rush Attack, Zach Lloyd and Nathan Doyle will win the opener here after a tough run. Has got the money and gets the money from the pick of the yard. Corey Brown. Rush Attack is first. Prometo was pretty good over on the inside. And here is It's a Wonder flashing late, too late. Rush Attack, It's a Wonder, and Prometo in that order as they hit the line. Fourth home will be Missile Seeker.
Yeah, good tough win. He kept cool there, Zach. He got caught three wide from barrier 4, and he just balanced the horse, and you would have thought he'd be out on his feet late. So that's a pretty good performance. Second up from a spell here at 1,500 metres for the informed Nathan Doyle stable. So he leaves the rest of them without too many excuses there. It's a Wonder's charge there late, running a much improved race, which the market suggested. And Prometo, with his big weight rolling along up front, is not far off another win, you would think. So I think the horse to follow is Hell's Itch. He just was doing really good work late out wide, but a worthy winner there. He sweated up, he didn't look the part, but he certainly delivered the goods with an impressive sort of performance.
I thought it was an absolutely terrific ride, Ronnie, even though Zach was three deep. Just the way that he handled himself, you can just see how much more mature this kid is coming along as a rider. Early in the race, he could have really bullocked and tried to get Tommy Sherry down onto the fence, so he got to the one-off position, but he couldn't do that, so he elected to sit three deep. The speed slackened, but he didn't, try to get this horse into a spot. He let the race unfold, kept his cool into the straight, cuddle, pushed the button at the last minute, and that was the telling factor. Good ride.
Well done, Nathan. Rush Attack, and a good tough win there.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty watch from barrier 4, three deep, no cover, but he's a little bulldog. He tries his heart out, that's all you can ask for. He's had 6 starts for the stable and has missed the top 2, and you always go to the races knowing he's going to be a good chance. He just puts in, and it's good for Tricolours and Mossy and the team. They supported us with a couple of nice horses, second hand, but they're doing the job, so it's quite pleasing to get a Saturday City win for him.
Wasn't pretty, but it was a good ride.
It was a good ride, I don't know. From barrier 4, 3 deep, but he jumped well, and I didn't have the horse to stay underneath the runners outside me, and I would have had to really get him out of his comfort zone to do so. So I was just hoping I could fall into the spot rather than use him, and ultimately the runners underneath me dug up. But in saying that, I didn't use any petrol that first 600 metres, so he was travelling comfortable. I knew I obviously had a tough run, and he's only second up, so I tried to cuddle for as long as I could, and yeah, luckily I did, because he toughed it out nicely.
The younger Zach Lloyd would have pushed the button at the 400.
Exactly right. Now we're evolving, Corey.
Well done, bud.
Thank you. Thanks.
We've got one out. Here's Darren for the Tab Highway
Country Championship. So bide your times in. They're all in. There's the light. Stand by. Gates are back now and they're off and racing. Point Bass was last out and Kay's time began brilliantly off the inside. Being eased out of the race in the early part there is Withstand. Rushing up on the outside, Spirits Burn Deep and takes the lead away from Kay's time, who's restrained, and Bide Your Time whips up on the outside. Now Creon goes forward out wide looking for a spot in advance of Bowls Angels. Then came Lang Park off the press out wide going forward. Exit Fees back in the field there with the white cap, 3 horses wide. Anology back there as well, followed by Vianda Chance, Point Bass, 3 after Reap Petite, and Withstand being retired from the race. They've got 700 metres to go. Spirits Burn Deep and narrow leader from off the press brings Plenty of Daylight. 2 further back to Kay's time, Bide Your Time, Creon on a wide path. Further back to Walls Angels, Lang Park boxed up on the rails. Exit Fees well back in the field from Vianda Chance as they straighten up now. Spirits Burn Deep and narrow leader from off the press. Creon the Grey launching on the outside. Exit Fees winding up with a good run. Bide Your Time between runners and then Walls Angels. Spirits Burn Deep at the 200 is a narrow leader from off the press. Exit Fee wide out. Bide Your Time still there. Point Bass flashing home, but Exit Fee swamping them wide out. Exit Fee went home best to beat Bide Your Time. Third, maybe Spirits Burn Deep on the fence from Creon off the press. Anology late on the scene. Point Bass close up on the inner. Then came Walls Angels, Lang Park, Reap Petite, Vianda Chance and Kay's Time.
Exit Fee, number 11. That's a double to Zach Lloyd. Bang, bang. Races 1 and 2. Corey Brown's followed him in both times.
Price was in a win too.
Danny Williams, the winning trainer. I'm sure Danny will appreciate the win, the prize money of a highway, but trying to get this horse's ratings up, I'm sure he'd love to sneak him towards the country championship. He couldn't get into the narrow heat tomorrow. Exit Fee number 11 is the winner. 7 has run second. 13 is third. So it's Bide Your Time and also Spirits Burn Deep, who was very brave, Ronnie. 11, 7, 13 and 9.
Yeah, well, if you've backed him to win 2 winners, you're collecting Zach Lloyd, and there might be more to come if you've backed him all the way through, because he's got some lovely rides to come on the day. So he's got 2 out of the way early. Very promising, the second horse. You don't see it often. A lightly raced 3-year-old doing such a good job getting to a highway this quickly. So a lot to like about him. And they went pretty slow there, and Spirits Burn Deep appreciated that and battled on pretty well. But a deserved winner, but the second horse is a nice horse moving forward.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Ronnie, but I think it was all about the ride there again for Zach Lloyd. He's just showing so much patience and poise. He's not going for the button too early. He's really letting them gather themselves up, going through their gears and just hitting the spot at the right time. Another 10 out of 10. Well done, buddy.
Well done, Danny. You'll get a few ratings points. Maybe the wild card at Goulburn's looking a bit better.
Yeah, look, I think to get a run in the wild card, you want to be about a 72, and he's still got a little bit of work to do, I would imagine, after that, but he's very consistent, and we'll throw him in the noms and see whether he can get a run, just work out what we do from now to then. He's most probably going to end up around about a 67, 68 rating. So he's racing very consistent. He deserves a shot at that. He's racing very consistently. So
yeah, but you're going to run out of highways in town because they'll go on hiatus for a little while, won't they?
Look, that's our problem. Maybe you have to try and look at running a place in a 3-year-old race somewhere in a midweek race or something like that. Yeah. It's a shame to throw a highway away because they're worth incredible money. in comparison to country races and midweek races, and it's just such a great opportunity for owners that either haven't got a horse good enough in the city that want to bring horses out to the country and run in these races. It's a fantastic incentive.
What are you going to do with Creon?
Look, like it's just chalk and cheese on the track. Just disappointing. Look, he keeps running into a few issues, nagging issues that restrict us from getting him 100% every race day. They're only minor, but it's frustrating because we know we clock them together. These horses, if they were working together, is most probably 10 to 12 lengths difference, and then come race day, it's just not there. And I don't think it's a stallion thing. It's just he's very soft, so maybe it's just the heart. I don't know, but
you can't get a new one of those.
No. Look, it's good to get a winner. We've had a frustrating run of seconds. The last 4 highways that we've run in, we've had 4 seconds. We ran second last night again, and I think that's our 29th and a half win. So, it's really good to get a winner.
That's great. Well done, Dan.
Thank you.
Good on you.
Congratulations, Zach. Things went a little bit better that one.
Yeah, 3 deep with cover this time, which is good. He's a very serious horse. He's still learning his craft. He can over-race, but once he gets cover, he switches off, and he's got a very serious turn of foot once he straightens. So, good win by him.
He didn't win by a big margin, but he was tough.
Yeah, last start I felt the win at the top of the straight, and Liz Tamania got to me at the 300, so I had to push the button probably 50 to 100 metres sooner than I would have liked, whereas today I was able to go through my motions and sure he was strong the last 100, which he was. So planned out a bit better today.
Well done, bud.
Thank you.
Stand by for a start. Race 3, Rosehill, about to get underway. Lady Boss, the $3.40 favourite. Tennant's just in there with one of these runners in the middle wide apart. They're off now. Blowing the start was Deep Rouge. It's 4 lengths at the rear early stages, and Salasano's jumped away well with Lady Boss serving it up. Step Aside's going to hold a very forward spot in third early in advance of Baroque Road, and Peace Officer being sent forward 3 wide. Not much chance of getting in from there. Further back to French Ruler, Cadet Ship. They're not going hard. Winston Hill's in a tricky spot out wide, and 2 lengths away to Deep Rouge last of all. So Lady Boss getting a bit keen on the outside of Salasano, and Peace Officer getting a bit closer in a 3 wide spot. Baroque Road bottled up. Step Aside now 5th on the rails, but only a length and a half off the leader, followed by Winston Hills, Cadet Ship, French Ruler. Deep Rouge is tacking on, so they're going pretty slow here. Inside the 600 metres, Lady Boss, the post-time favourite, has the head in front. From Salasano and Peace Officer, Baroque Road wedged between runners. Step Aside back on the fence. Winston Hills with Clear running on the outside. Lady Boss serves it up to Salasano now, and Step Aside pushing into the clear, beating up Baroque Road. It's on the inside, Salasano, Lady Boss and Step Aside. Zach Lloyd pushes the button, and Step Aside raced to the lead, kicked away. Zach Lloyd's holding Rosehill to ransom early. That's 3 out of 3. Big win, Step Aside, beating Lady Boss, Salasano, French Ruler late. Then came Winston Hills, Peace Officer, Cadet Ship, and a gap back to Baroque Road and Deep Rouge.
It's a Zack attack here in Sydney's western suburbs. Step Aside, Chris Waller and Zach Lloyd, 3 in a row. No other jockeys ridden a winner today. First went to Rush Attack. He sat 3 wide, no cover, and still won. Race number 2, he got Exit Fee home, and in the third he pushes out and he gets Step Aside home. 3 out of 3. Chris Waller and Zach Lloyd. Step Aside beats number 10 Lady Boss and 4 Salasano.
Yeah, on pace race again, and he can go and have a lie down now. He's not in the next. He can just put his feet up and get his saddle ready for Scarlet Oak. So I don't know what Corey's going to do in the next.
He's going to wait for Scarlet Oak in the 5th.
I might go and put my feet up as well.
Have a race off. But everything, it looked a bit hairy on the point of the turn, but they went slow and they sprinted the 2 leaders, and he come out, and that lane again, 3 out, and that was his race today. The blinkers have worked with him at home. and just given the perfect ride and far too good. Did you see French Ruler there? Keep an eye on him for later on when he gets up to 14 mile. He's come back well.
All I'm going to say, pretty to watch, Zach Lloyd. Pretty to watch, mate.
He's found the Lloyd lane. About 3 out. Well done, Chris, and well done to Step Aside, who had to come through that incident first up at Randwick.
Yeah, he's come through it scot-free, fortunately, and his next run was good. Probably peaked with 100 to go, but today's ride from Zach was brilliant. He utilised a good draw, just landed there, didn't do any work, and he was able to have a good solid finish.
Just your bread and butter type horse at the moment?
Yeah, he is. It's good bread. It tastes pretty good, the bread and butter, on a Saturday in Sydney, though. He's earned some significant prize money today. I think they get 80,000 for winning. Like, that takes you a long way. So
a lot of bread and butter.
Yeah.
You'd have a bit of jam.
The Queen's marmalade.
Yeah, that's right. Which you've tried, by the way.
If he can win another one, he's done a great job.
The boy's on fire.
Yeah, it's good, and your tipping's on fire too.
Look, this horse, you could mistakenly think that he would have lost a lot of confidence after he, had that mishap there at Randwick. But when he walked in the enclosure today and had those blinkers back on, did he feel as good as he looked?
Well, I've never sat on him, but as you said, the addition of blinkers back on today, I was very happy with the horse I was on, cantering to the gates. He felt on song. Just kept him nice and happy because obviously he doesn't win out of turns. So just try to be as nice as I could to him and just tell him he's doing well. And the race panned out well for him because I think he has a good turn of foot on his day and obviously went very steady. So I needed a bit of luck as we straightened, but I did, and he won that race quite easily.
Good skills, mate.
Thank you, sir.
Last one up for race 4, the Ranvet Handicap.
Pride to Follow's the last to move in, so they're locked and loaded. Race 4 over 1,100 metres, the favourite parked in barrier 1. They're off and racing. Bonita Queen's missed the kick a half length. But it's a bunch field and she's zooming right through underneath a lot of them. So Bonita Queen last out takes the lead now. Moving up on the outside, Pride to Follow. Arts Alive Handy, followed then by Boston Rocks in Rich the Blade. Well back on the fence, and Belinda has dropped back to last. So Bonita Queen, she had to burn some gas to lead. Does so by 3/4, Pride to Follow. 2 off to Arts Alive on the inside of Boston Rocks. Then a Rich who's keeping the short price favourite, the Blade Company. 2 lengths away, Belinda last has been really well backed in the last 3 minutes. Bonita Queen with a good lead turning for home. Bonita Queen in the hands of Ben Osmond. 3 in front to Pride to Follow, Boston Rocks. Then Arts Alive. Now when Rich is trying to keep the Blade in a pocket and did a good job of that, so he'll have to change course now on the Blade. Bonita Queen all out. Boston Rocks claimed it. Between them, Pride to Follow. Down the outside, Belinda with a big run. The Blade can't get out of a pocket. Boston Rocks in front. Belinda moves up the outside. Boston Rocks and Belinda. Oh, this is very, very close. Boston Rocks trying to cling on from Belinda, and Enriched has run third. A gap to the Blade. Pride to Follow. Bonita Queen got tired, and Arts Alive is last in.
Boston Rocks or Wallenda, inside or out. Boston Rocks is holding on, and one more hop and Wallenda would have grabbed Boston Rocks, but he may have held on, and he has. Inside, Boston Rocks has won clearly, half head. Boston Rocks over Wallenda, and Enrich has run third.
Well, he's been honest all the way through. He found the right run and he holds them off. So favourites both sort of missed the start to a certain extent there. Whether that's going to be their excuse, I'm not sure. But he was Johnny on the spot. Ash got him in the spot, put his head down right on the line, which emphasised that winning margin to beat Wallenda, who's come from well back, was supposed to be ridden closer today. And Enriched, that'll top him off. He's come back well. So he found a few dead ends there, the Blade, but he just didn't show, he couldn't hold that barrier there. So little excuses along the way there. And Bonita Queen, she may have just used that little bit of petrol once she did miss that start and had to be used. So I think we have to dissect this race a little bit more. It might take a bit longer, but just a deserved win. He's been honest all the way through and gets another win on the board.
Yeah, I think it's terrific for Ash Morgan as well. He's come now as a permanent here in Sydney. It's good to see him get a bit of a roll along. Great rider. If he was only a kilo or two lighter, where he could get a lot more opportunities, but it's good to see gather a little bit of momentum. Well done, Ash.
Sean Driver's with me from Corinda Bloodstock, who are the owners of Boston Rock. You're huffing and puffing. You gave him a cheer.
Yeah, look, he's been probably a little bit frustrating. He always just shows us so much natural ability, but he just won't let rip. And look, we've got his feet right. He's battled with his feet, and he's got 4 white feet. And look, the team have done a great job. Matthew's done a great job in his farrier, and it's just really pleasing.
Well, this is a start of a very exciting month for you, because those colours you've got there on your lapel are going to be worn by Prince Harry. Private Harry. Yep. Not Prince. Private Harry in the Galaxy coming up. It's only a month away.
It is, and going to Nathan Doyle and his team, what can I say? You know, like, we've got a boom colt. It's going to take a very good one to beat him.
Congratulations, Chaz. Time to perfection. Wouldn't want any further.
No, I wouldn't want any further. I'm not sure about the time to perfection. I thought I got there a bit soon. No, but he's a horse I knew from early days. I won the first couple of races on him, and he always showed a lot of ability, and he looked fantastic in the yard there. And he's always said he's always had that ability, and I thought Bonita Queen might just keep finding a little bit more than what she did. So I half went to chase her, but left myself vulnerable to the ones behind. But something he hasn't probably done in the past is he had a dip late and really dug in.
Well done, bud.
Thank you.
A Group 2 winner here at Rosehill Macarena, trained by the Hawkes family, who have a chunk of the ownership. And they're set now, and the gates are back. They're off and racing, and Macarena came out pretty well. Watch My Girl first into stride. Scarlet Oak very handy with Hinged, and Macarena is on a fishing expedition out wide in advance of Firestorm. They're followed then by Our Gold Hope, Dark Glitter. Not that easy as the last one. Watch My Girl leads the way. Tyler Schiller has to roll forward here on Macarena for the fear of being caught 3 wide. So Macarena goes up to eyeball Watch My Girl. Hinged in a clear third, and neck back on the inside Scarlet Oak. Length and a half to Firestorm, just shading Our Gold Hope, then Dark Glitter, and the roughie Not That Easy sees them all. So Watch My Girl, a narrow leader from the heavily back favourite Macarena at the 600. Scarlet Hope in a great position, third on the inside of Hinge, then Our Gold Hope on the inside of Firestorm. Dark Glitter and Not That Easy turning for home, 4:50 to go. Macarena serves it up now to Watch My Girl. She's got a big stride, Macarena. Quickly Scarlet Oak is coming off heels to throw down a challenge, and Firestorm down the outside. Macarena with the head in front, just from Scarlet Oak is just about on terms. Firestorm, Dark Glitter rattling home on the rails. They're right across the track. Wide out Firestorm, Dark Glitter up the fence. They head it. Firestorm just from Dark Glitter, and I think Scarlet Oak third in front of Macarena, Our Gold Hope, and Watch My Girl, and a gap back to Not That Easy and Hinged.
The sniper, Jason Collett's blown them all away here. Number 4, Firestorm. Jason Collett and Chris Waller has upset the favourite. Macarena hasn't run a place. Look at Dark Glitter. Won the mares race last week as a well-back $6 favourite. She was, what, 40 to 1 today? Is going to get second. And Scarlet Oak's going to hit the bob in just... Has Macarena run third? It's very tight. I thought Scarlet Oak might have got it clearly, but Macarena may have got a bob down to join her. That's still very tight between Scarlet Oak and Macarena. No, Scarlet Oak has got third, Macarena's got 4. So the numbers are up. 4, 9, 3, 1. The bookies have got the lot.
Well, you've got to give them credit to lay something like that, and yet it hasn't run a place. So there was method in that pricing early. But Firestorm was the one they missed as well, because she has just got this sensational first up record. I know she was back in distance today and that was a negative, but she's just performed so well fresh. What an upset. This very fit filly, Dark Flitter, having about her 8th or 9th run this preparation. She's darted up the fence there like the winner with 50 metres to go, but just the class of Firestorm was too good. So she'll improve with the run there, Scarlet Oak. She's gone well, and the favourite, you have to say, you would have expected her to kick a little bit better, but she does lift second up, and some big money lost there.
Yeah, my mate JC Collett sitting back there and just picking the eyes out of things. Terrific rider, terrific run, really. When you can see the speed they were going up front, it just set up well for the leader and the second horse there up front. But to come off their backs like he did and put them to the sword like he did, I thought it was a pretty good win by that man.
Such a huge advantage there for those leaders, Corey, wasn't it? They were dawdling.
They were absolutely canning. Obviously, Tyler Schiller on Macarena, it's not the position that he wanted, but when he ambled over and set outside lead as soft as what he did, you would just expect that horse to win. But to come off the speed like Firestorm did and pick them up the way that she did, terrific win.
Yeah. Chris, she's obviously got a very good first up record, but she's gone to another level, it seems.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, each time first up, she's basically won, if not all the time since she's been in Sydney. Lovely ride from Jason, and she's been well prepared into the race, 2 trials, and like we were expecting her to show something, but to win a Group 2, it's quite the obvious step up. So just timing and nice patient ride, and she got the job done.
Beaten under 5 lengths in an Epsom. What are you looking at this time in?
Yeah, I don't think she sort of gets too far. Maybe she gets a mile, but beyond that I wouldn't. So I think we've learnt just to keep her a bit shorter and sharper. Probably a race like the Cornwall.
Yep, 3 weeks.
Perfect.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well done, Jace. Good ride.
Yeah, thanks. No, it's job's easy when you got a horse, and she's come back really well. She was in a great frame of mind, and even in the run, I was, albeit 3 pairs back, moderate tempo, I was so, well, I'm going to be running on strong here.
Yeah, but the turn of foot that she showed, like when you did say the speed was so moderate up front, I just didn't think she'd have that turn of foot.
You're right, like Macarena's a good horse, up outside dictating speed, yeah. You know, I thought, well, I'll be running on good, but she had that extra gear. You know, when I got to them at the sort of 150, then I just went on with it. That was, pretty good.
Well done, bud.
Thanks.
Here's Darren Flindell.
And the favourite drawn the outside. Track been playing very fairly here today at Rosehill. Gates are back now. They're off and racing. Wotan jumped about midfield and Gambler flew out. Showing good speed was Bay Whacked, and now the filly Belle Mercy's on the scene going to third. Just in front of Wester Swindon. Then Nashville Jack from Alabama Magic. Well back is Brat Summer from Buffalo, and Wotan's in a 3-wide position at the rear and improving his position. So Gambler leads for fun. Does it with the ears pricked a long way up by 2 on Bay Whacked, followed by Belle Mercy. Wester Swindon off the fence going to fourth, and the hot favourite Wotan's out 3 wide, working on the outside of Nashville Jack, and then came Alabama Magic around the turn. We'll see how good Wotan is today. It's Gambler in front from Bay Whacked, Wester Swindon behind them, then Belle Mercy, and 2 further back to Wotan at the 300, and Bay Whacked races to the lead by a length and a half on Wester Swindon. Belle Mercy's not travelling well. Wotan's got it all to do. Bay Whacked though inside the 150's got them all struggling, trying hard. Wester Swindon, then came Wotan, but Bay Whacked too good. There's a surprise for you. Bay Whacked by 2.5. Wester Swindon second. Boy, Wotan's done some work in the run in third. Buffalo charging home at the end in the fourth. Then came Alabama Magic, Nashville Jack, Gambler weak after a pretty fast run in the lead. Belle Mercy didn't go at all well over the last 100, and Brat Summer was last to finish.
And suddenly there's a new player in the Golden Slipper, because Bay Whacked has knocked off 2 big scalps here in West of Swindon and Wotan. $34 in the slipper. Watch that shorten up now. Bay Whacked by Bivouac, Adam Hieronymus and James Cummings. Too good for West of Swindon, and the favourite home in third spot, Wotan.
Well, he really found some form. Recent racing on his side, and he won. He won well. He's put a gap in them there late. So I think second and third have got improvement in them. He cruised in the run west of Swindon, and as the market suggested, got a little tired late. Far too much to do. He just dragged back behind the slow ones there, and and then a bit of a mid-race move. You still thought he was in touch on the turn, but I just think once we pull it all apart, I don't think you'll see anything wrong with the run with Woden. So I don't know whether we should lose any admirers. And the other two in the market there, they were very, very common there. And Gambler got tired, and Belle Merci, she just wasn't herself after not even really contesting the lead.
He's got a little bit of thinking to do now, Adam Hieronymus. He rode Shaggy last week, this horse today, so a few decisions to be made.
Yes, stick with the blue or stick with the battlers. Do you want to stick and ride for a shake, or do you want to ride for the connections of Shaggy? Shake or Shaggy, Corey? Great job, James. Godolphin's in the picture again for a golden slipper.
Yeah, look, he was out of the frame on debut, but we've chipped away, stuck to the plan. We didn't panic, and it's a great testament to our teams that we've been able to continue to get this horse to go the right way, because he's got a lot of natural pace, he's got speed to burn, and we just needed to calm him down and get him to do it right, and that's what you get with a Colt by Bivouac, who's a fast horse out of a street cry mare who's already thrown a group winner. But this is a class animal, and a month out from the Golden Slipper, that's a huge result.
So you're teaching him? Is he a fast learner?
Yeah, his debut was disastrous, but it was just a bad setup. But we stuck to the plan, and I love that he's had that tough run. He loomed up on the inside last time, and he was better again coming into this race. So. Yeah, look, I appreciate that he's had absolutely everything go his way today, but look, he's a Silver Slipper winner and a legitimately class act going into a Golden Slipper 4 weeks out.
Yeah, 4 weeks. Do you go to the Todman?
We'll think about it. We could do that. I think it's a matter of just deciding what's right for the horse, what's best for him. We've brought a Blue Point colt up from Melbourne called Aleppo Pine, who might go to the Todman. But that's all right. If we have two runners, we have two runners, and we'll do what's right by this colt. But he's a really classy horse. It's a huge result for Bivouac, and it's just getting the timing right, which is essentially what it's all about.
Well done, Hippo. Explosive today, that horse.
A sharp turn of foot today. Last start, it was perfect setup, barrier one, because he was quite strong on debut, and he's quite a strong colt. Not aggressive strong, just learning, and obviously a horse that's got a lot of ability, and just trying to teach him to get him to settle and harness that. And we raced the other day, barrier one. Unfortunately, we had no cover. They raced off the fence in an 1100 metre race at Randwick, which was unfortunate, and I felt he would have won that race if we were able to get cover and just switch him off a little bit. And today with the good speed, he jumped well. He was nice and relaxed in the first 100 metres, and I was able to take up a nice position outside the leader on a good speed. But he started to get quite strong before the turn because I was going so well, and I didn't really want to go, but at the same time I didn't want to break his stride, so I just tried to hold on to him as much as I could, and he showed a very sharp turn of foot and held that the last 100 metres, so it was pleasing.
Not that he has to, but can he improve again?
Definitely. There's a lot of improvement. Like I said, he's still a very raw colt, and a couple of little things he's doing. It's just what he's doing is just pure ability. They're not bad things that he's doing, but once he realises he's a racehorse, it'll be a lot different story. Uncle
Neil won this race 35 years ago. There'll be plenty to talk about tonight.
No, it's pleasing. I love. I don't know. It's not. Probably doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but to me, I love to be able to win races that my father's won, or my Uncle Neil or Rodney, because they've been supporters of me, and it's very nice.
But we're set now for the Parramatta Cup Race 7.
Stand by for the Parramatta Cup. They're off and racing now. Palmetto out wide, jump well. Redstone Wells being sooled along, and Don Diego de Vega's right there, with Our Anchorage starting to improve. So Don Diego de Vega just leads. Our Anchorage strides up the widest. Redstone Well between them, and Palmetto still with work to do. On the outside of Kinesiology, and Asterix holds a forward spot on the rails. In advance then of Manzois as they head to the back. Fajita Sand the outside. A length and a half then to Zechariah from Athabana. Athabascan, Circle of Fire, Francesco Guardi, and Waltham's last of all. 1,300 to go, and Redstone Well now takes the lead by a length. Our Anchorage goes to a clear second, and the pace looks pretty good. 2 further back to Palmetto, a half the inside, Don Diego de Vega. 3 further back to Kinesiology on the outside of Asterix there midfield. They're followed after a length and a half to Manzois on the inside of Fajita San. Then came Athabascan from Zechariah, Circle of Fire, Francesco Guardi, and Waltham is the last one. They lead the back, and Redstone Well has the field strung out. It's Redstone Well a length in front of the short favourite here. Our Anchorage chasing 4 in a row. Then Palmetto, Don Diego de Vega doing the chasing. A gap of 2.5 then to Asterix on the inside of Kinesiology. Further back to Manzois, Fujita San. Then came Zechariah around Athabascan, and a gap to the last 3. Inside the 500 metres now, Redstone Well, a narrow leader from Our Anchorage. Don Diego de Vega's got plenty of room on the fence. Palmetto pulling out, Kinesiology pulling out, and further back to Asterix hugging the rails. Fujita San making good ground on the outside. Our Anchorage is a narrow leader from Palmetto, breathing down its neck. Fujita San running on, Kinesiology poking through the middle. Our Anchorage just in front of Palmetto, Fujita San. It's Our Anchorage, Palmetto. Our Anchorage clinging on from Palmetto. Our Anchorage, the favourite, makes it 4 in a row. Our Anchorage beat Palmetto, and a third there. Kinesiology in it, rattling home Asterix from Redstone Well. Fujita San, the outside, peaked on the run. Further back to Manzois, Francesco Guardi, Don Diego de Vega, Circle of Fire, Waltham, Athabascan, and Zechariah.
Well done, Björn. This horse has got to a level and has held it for 4 in a row.
Yeah, he's been remarkable, and I guess I think there's a big team behind this. Firstly, Derby is sourcing such good horses. My team at home are doing a great job. Luke's been particularly important in finding out how to get the best out of this guy, and I thought it was a great ride by Ash Morgan today. He's a smooth ride. He's a big-time rider. The second win today, and he's gonna cement himself at home in Sydney City.
So he's going to do a lot more for you here in the metropolitan region?
Yeah, he's doing a fair bit at the moment, and I think he's a good judge, he's a good rider, and he's getting results. He's going over to ride Perfumist in the Kiwi. I've got Rachel King coming back soon too, though. So.
What's she going to do?
Well, she got a lot of money in Saudi Arabia last night, so I don't have to give Luke a pay rise after this.
Now, what are you going to do with this horse? You got to a Group 3. Where do you take a horse like Our Anchorage?
Well, you just keep believing and hoping, and we'll just see where we end up. He is nominated for the Sydney Cup, and I think over a bit further he might be better again.
This permanent move to the city is looking good.
Yeah, no, it's working out well. Like we've put in a lot of hard work for the last 4 or 5 years to try and get these opportunities, and it's usually in the off-season, the winter, and we knock a few winners and then we disappear back after that. But I feel like this time I'm really getting a good run on. I feel like I'm riding well. I'm getting great support of trainers like Bjorn and Kieran and Nathan. So just making the most of these opportunities while I can.
Your first group win, how did that feel?
Yeah, look, it was good. It was great. Bjorn and Luke and the whole team really just said to me, look, if you can give them an easy early to middle, you can really put your foot down from the 600, and I was able to do that. And Palmetto was there to beat us, and he kept having a dig, and he was very strong.
They're set. The Hobartville Stakes.
Hobartville Stakes. And they're off and racing, and Mayfair began brilliantly and is going to lead rather comfortably early. Public attention zooming across from the outside and will go straight to second. And they're followed by Firm Agreement, broadsiding pretty handy in fourth and improving its position advance of Aliana than Tenbury Wells. Further back, China Sea. Line back is going to settle well back in the field, third last in fact from Just Party, and Swift Falcon last of all. Easy lead for Mayfair, scoots along by 2 on Public Attention. 2 further back to broadside Broadsiding, racing on the outside of Firm Agreement. Oleana gets good cover and certainly tracking the right horse. On the outside of Tenbury Wells, then China Sea from Linebacker, who led when resuming, is back third last here from Just Party, and Swift Falcon just sitting back watching it all unfold. So Mayfair running along at speed, out by 2.5 lengths to Public Attention. Broadsiding inching a little bit closer, then Firm Agreement from Oleana as they come around the turn. And Mayfair being reined along now. Mayfair by 2 on Public Attention, and now Broadsiding being cuddled here by Lloyd and starting to close in the Gun Colt. Mayfair at the 250, a length in front to Public Attention. Broadsiding claims them now. 3 further back to Swift Falcon charging home. Broadsiding's dashed away though inside the 100 from rattling home Swift Falcon and Oleana, but Broadsiding, the triple Group 1 winning colt, resumes with a great win in the Hobartville, beating Swift Falcon and Oleana. Public Attention fourth, Linebacker rattling home from a mile back, then Mayfair, Firm Agreement, Just Party, Tenbury Wells and China Sea.
James, what a wonderful colt.
He is, yeah, Greg. He's a beautiful horse. We're pretty excited about having him back, and we'd been confident all over the summer that he'd come back in good shape. So we thought it'd be a matter of good luck to them beating him in a race like this at weights 1400 at Rosehill. But I'd love to see him derive good benefit from this and build up nicely for the Randwick Guineas in a fortnight.
Did you expect him to land where he did in the early part of the race?
Oh yeah, look, Dominic Byrne was all over it. He thought that with being aware and with a horse fresh up, that he could be there. The map looked good from Wednesday night, so I think it's worked out well. Zach Lloyd's just delivered. The pressure goes on him when J Mac's in Saudi Arabia to ride the good horse for Romantic Warrior, and Zach's done a great job here on Broadsiding, just like he did on Traffic Warden last year. And it's good to see Zach rising to the level, because he's had a big day here, and yet when the big race came around, he was still there to deliver. So. Good, really good for Zach, but very importantly for the team. Good to see these good colts turn up today, and that bodes well for the autumn ahead for us.
Can you quantify what improvement there might be there in 2 weeks at a mile?
Well, look, I wasn't mucking around with him. I ensured that he was ready to go in a race that he needed to get the wrap back on him in a race like the Hobartville, but. That's important for him to have a really good baseline of fitness, because that Randwick mile can be a testing one on a 2-week turnaround, and so he should be ready for that. But he's a stylish winner of two impressive 1,600 metre wins at Randwick before, and I think he's going to enjoy getting back there. But love seeing the horse back like that. He's a smashing colt, and it's going to be an exciting journey ahead for him. But back against the 3-year-olds is going to suit him nicely after doing battle against those weight for age horses his last couple.
And it's a bit premature, but one day you might be able to compare Adamo and this bloke.
Well, look, I've got the luxury of not having to compare them. I get to race them in separate cohorts. But look, he's by 2-9 hot. A very good sire, who another stakes winner today in Melbourne, and to have Broadsiding best of a generation by a stallion like that, that's an important result for the farm. And look, that has been our focus for a while, but it's a matter of continuing to convert that and keep him up there, because it's not an easy thing to do as these others emerge and get better over the break.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Corey, for Zach Lloyd, he rode the best filly last week.
Yeah.
He's on the best colt today.
You've had a little bit of time to think about it. How good is he?
Yeah, he's very special. Obviously, he's a very valuable colt to the team, and he's getting better with age.
Was there ever a moment where you thought, he's not going that good, or was it always smooth sailing?
Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Once he began like that, I had to give him a bit of a squeeze to just get in front of the runners underneath me, and once I got there, he just fell right back asleep. Obviously, Mayfair was making it a genuine 1400 for him first up, but perfectly prepared, and he's just a very, very good colt.
Well, I watched the race with Dazza Beeman, and he said, left hand, Zach, left hand, and I said, he won't need it.
He's too good. I could see where Darren was coming from, but At the 500, I just went through my gears, and he didn't really need a smack. He knows his job.
James McDonald out to $1.10. There's the light, and we're ready to go for race 9 here at Rosehill. Stand by for a start. Racing now, and Sabak left the gates quite well. Together with Coastwatch the outside, and Coastwatch rolls forward to take the lead away from Sabak. Headley Grange is being sent forward in a 3-wide position. What He Goes is right there in front of Ducasse. They're followed by Bel Air, then Built to Bold Mac. West of Africa is the last one, so Coastwatch really zipped across there and leads comfortably at the 1,000 metres, with Headley Grange getting a bit keen in second. He's got blinkers on for the first time, Headley Grange, and he's racing freely into an outright second spot. The beaten off Sabak is now 4 off the lead in third on the outside of What He Goes. Then Ducasse with cover on the outside of Bel Air. A gap to build from Bold Mac, and West of Africa ridden stone cold, as was the case at the Gold Coast last time out. So Coastwatch free rolling in the lead by a length and a half, with the favourite chasing here, Headley Grange. 2 further back to Sabak. What He Goes the rails. Then came Ducasse from Bel Air, Built. West of Africa pulling to the outside. Into the straight, 350 to go, and Coastwatch has been joined now by Headley Grange. Headley Grange eyeballing the front runner. West of Africa's coming with a great run on the outside. Then came What He Goes the inside. Headley Grange the front runner. Ducasse is closing in. West of Africa's peaked on the run. Ducasse now lays it down to Headley Grange. Ducasse puts the nose in front. Ducasse beat Headley Grange. Sabak ran the third. A gap back to Bel Air, Coastwatch, and wide out West of Africa. Then What He Goes the rails. Nothing's making ground on the fence today. Further back to Bold Mac and Built. Ducasse, number 7.
Well done, Timmy. He's returning fine fettle, although a bit lighter.
Yeah, exactly. And it's obviously good to see he really applied himself there late when I needed him to. First up chasing a fit horse. He knuckled down really good late and showed that he wants to get into them dog fights and prevail.
Here's Darren for the last.
By for a break. Osmar nestled up there in barrier 1. They're off and racing now. And dropping back to last from the wide draw, there is the Black Cloud, and Time to Boogie fired out. Blinkers on first time. It's Boogie in front. Osmar, quick tempo, Posse up behind. Then She's an A-lister, and the Black Cloud getting keen going forward. Further back to Bill Cosmonova, and Bacchanalia is going to sit back last. So Time to Boogie trucking along by a length on quick tempo. Osmar over racing a bit third. Then the Black Cloud. 2 after the favourite, She's an A-lister. A gap to Cosmonova Built. And Bacchanalia is back last of all. So Time to Boogie held together on the turn from quick tempo. Then Osmar pinned away on the fence. The Black Cloud pulling out. And the favourite gets onto its back. She's an A-lister. So well into the straight, and Time to Boogie being joined wide out by the Black Cloud. Kick tempo between them. Then She's an A-lister, Cosmonova, and further back to Osmar. Time to Boogie showing a good kick here at the 100. It's still Time to Boogie in front. Now She's an A-lister's winding up late. Time to Boogie in front from quick tempo. She's an A-lister, and Boogie does it today. Zach Lloyd, 5 winners for the day. Held out quick tempo, and She's an A-lister. Then came Osmar, followed in by the Black Cloud, Cosmonova, Built, and Bacchanalia.
5 for Zach Lloyd. The day started well. First 3 races, he rode winners. Then he came back in race number 8 today and won on the Crack Colt, maybe the best horse he's ever ridden, broadsiding, and he makes it 5 in the last on Time to Boogie. His timing has been perfect today. 5 winners, 5 great rides. All been a little bit different, Ronnie.
They certainly have, and there's plenty of high-fiving going on out the side here. The people have been following him all day, and Wow, to do what he's done, he was an 80 to 1 chance to do it, and he's done it. Incredible. I thought when he wandered back to the inside and then quick tempo got another, breath there, and then She's an A-lister was chiming in, but when your luck's in, and that gear change certainly worked with a little freshen there.
What will this mean to him, Corey?
A lot. To ride 5 winners on any day of the week, but to ride it on a Saturday, he's ridden some good horses. Yeah, this will mean a lot.
It's as good as you can go, because you've got to go back to the 80s to a rider to have ridden 6 winners in a day. That was Jimmy Cassidy in 86 or 87.
Yep.
So you, Beedman, McDonald, Bowman, the best you've only been able to ride is 5. 6 is almost impossible.
I've never ridden 6. I've ridden 5 a good few times, but again, a couple of country tracks. I've done it twice on city tracks, but both being midweek meetings. Not saying that that's any easier. Riding 5 winners is hard no matter where you go, but to do it on a Saturday like today, yeah, that's a big achievement.
And can I tell you, when Cassidy did it in the 80s, there would have only been 8 races.
Correct, yeah. So they've got 2 more races to do it in, but still, it's no mean feat. There's a lot of good jockeys out there that you're competing against, and the way that he is riding is absolutely outstanding.
Well, he's clearly gone to another level, hasn't he?
He has.
And he continues to go to another level.
Even in himself, Greg, the way that he's handling situations, you can just tell the boy's become a man.
OK, Sophie's going to come over and have a chat to us. Michael Friedman's stable. You've ended with a double.
I know, fancy that.
Good day.
Nice day for me.
Ducasse has come back really well, who we saw win earlier.
Super. It was really nice to see. He's always been a horse that's had a lot of talent and ability, and it's been nice to see him get the job done.
Just going to pause here because Zach Lloyd's getting a wonderful reception coming back after riding 5 here today. Moment for the Blues, isn't it? And to ride his 5th on Time to Boogie, it was a gem of a ride.
Yeah, it was perfect. We had option A or option B, and option A worked out perfectly. So jump and run.
Great. Well, he's on his way now.
Yeah, he is. He's always gives 110%, and he's been knocking on the door for a little while. So it's nice to obviously get the job done today. Having the blinkers on, he's an older horse, and it was just something that you just need something to switch him on a little bit and change up for him, and just done the trick. So that was all credit to Michael there and his strapper and rider Laura as well. She's done a great job with him.
Well done. Well done. OK, here's Corey.
Well done, bud. Well done, Zach. That's a massive achievement, mate.
Yeah, I'm super thrilled with that. Obviously, come into today with a good book of rides, and sometimes you end with 0, sometimes you get 5. So, no, I'm very, very happy with the day.
Take us through the race.
Yeah, perfect. He just executed the race well. He was obviously blinkers back on, and I just wanted to get the jump right. He jumped really well. Just controlled the race nicely. Never felt like getting beat, but the last 100 he was getting quite tired. But no, when it's your day, it's your day.
Good skills, mate.
Thank you, Corey.